slacking.
Awesome, thank you very much. And I will see you next month when I'm in town.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day, guys.
Hi, how are you?
It's
Come on in.
okay, I do the same thing.
Hi, how are you? Can I help you?
Yeah. My father just recently got his approval, and so he was coming here to get his ID. I called one of the companies to see if he could come, so they said, yeah, as long as he showed his ID.
So you're looking for CBD oil?
No, he wants the phone.
Dispensary, I just sell the CBD flower.
Oh,
And the CBD oil. And those are people who don't want.
plenty of high hopes.
Yeah.
Love it. Great open, Bill. Nice job. Welcome aboard, folks. We are rocking and rolling today. We'll be out here till 1 o'clock. And we're coming to you live from CBD American Shaman. And let me tell you something, if you are looking for CBD products, the strongest in the market, you will find them right here. We're in Coconut Creek. We'll be out here till 1 o'clock. Till 3 o'clock actually, having some fun. And you can call my guy Ryan, by the way, at 954-366-65. I don't know what the rest is, because we left out one number on the thing, by the way, but we gotta fix that. 6574, by the way. We'll fix that part there on the text there on the screen. But anyway, so we'll have some fun out here till 3 o'clock. And I met with Ryan last week, and we're gonna be broadcasting out here. So if you live or work in the Coconut Creek area, we're gonna be out here once a month, broadcasting out here. And personally for me, I've been taking some new CBD products that are helping me sleep. That's one, and one that's helping me eliminate my damn bags in my eyes, because they're actually less prominent than they were in the past. So that was the cool thing. But anyway, we'll be out here till 3, and if you want to come on by, it's at 1311 Lyons Road in Lyons Plaza. So we're out here. We'll be till 3 o'clock talking about all kinds of things. And you just heard there the fantastic open that Bill put together. One of the things that obviously caught my eye was Manny Diaz talking about Howell, the quarterback that they're going to face this week. Sam Howell, the true freshman that is going to be on the field facing the Canes this week, and kind of talking about his toughness. And he kind of says he kind of knew him too from, I guess he was trying to recruit him also. But in a way, when I heard Manny describing that, I almost felt like it was a way of sending a message to Jaron Williams, like, hey, I need you to do the same things. And Jaron is one of those guys that I give him credit, because he made his share of mistakes in that game against the Gators. And one of the things Manny was talking about was, the kid's toughness, how playing in an NFL stadium, going up against South Carolina and all that stuff. And in a way, I think he wants to send that message to Jaron too, that he wants that kind of toughness. And one of the criticisms for Jaron coming out of that Florida game was that he was looking at the rush too much. And so quarterbacks cannot look at the rush. You and I would look at the rush, because we'd be panicking. They'd snap the ball, and the second we'd get it, we'd be running in the other direction, is probably what we would be doing. So that's where, it would be a little bit more difficult for somebody like you and me, that we're not used to a pass rush and people chasing us to try to rip our heads off. Is there any CBD if you lose your head, Ryan? No? Okay, no, okay. There's officially no CBD that will help you if you lose your head. I just want you to know that. I just got that officially right now from Ryan Shantz. So it is not going to happen. So if that happens to us, 366-6574. And I know I have people listening, not just in town in South Florida, but all across the country. In fact, yesterday on SoundCloud, I posted the top 5 cities listening. 4 of them, okay, they're in South Florida. The number 4 out of the 5 was Atlanta. So, and I'm looking at all the texts and all of you trying to win the shirts for next week. And you're coming in from Washington, from Los Angeles, from Michigan, from Virginia, New York, Texas, you name it. Well, listen, you can actually order online from Ryan. Go to CBD Coconut Creek, okay, .com, CBDCoconutCreek.com. If you want to order your CBD online, you know, maybe you're lazy, you don't want to come by and say hi. I get it, maybe I scare you or something like that, but at least you can order it online and get your CBD products, okay? So make sure you do that at least. And today also, Ryan is donating 10% of the purchases today to hurricane relief to assist our friends in the Bahamas. Okay, that's pretty cool. Nice job by you, Ryan. Very classy job by Ryan. And by the way, we got couches and chairs here. So if you want to come on by and you're close by in Coconut Creek, anywhere close by to 1311 Lyons Road, you can sit down there and relax like Carlos Picari is doing, kicking back and just hanging out on his phone, because Ryan's got this terrific setup here. All kinds of couches and a couch and beautiful chairs. So come on out and hang out with us. You can actually watch the show, participate. You can ask us a question, and I do have some dolphin bricks too. So if limited, I have a few here that I brought. I'm not going to bring all of them, but I did bring a few. So some of you that have come to some of the other broadcasts will be out here for a couple of hours. So if you want one of those engraved 2x4 Miami Dolphin bricks, come on by. I've got a few to give out, so we'll give that to you while we're out here at American Shaman at 1311 Lyons Road. All right, so we got a lot of things to talk about on the program. And again, if you want to reach out to us on the text line, like somebody just did right now, please go into the hidden agendas of the Dolphin beat writers and radio personalities. No names needed. Listen, guys, I'm not going to get into, I don't know who has an agenda or a personnel or some kind of an axe to grind or anything like that. I don't know who does that. But all I can tell you is what I agree and don't agree with. Okay? That's all. I'll give you an example. Barry Jackson has an article today where he says a player says Tunsil was angry about the trade and the Finns never assured him that he wouldn't be traded, but had led his camp that he wouldn't be traded. So let me ask you something, because this is when you're writing something to just write something because you need space and you got to create anything. There's a price for everybody. Everybody. And so why would you tell somebody that you're not going to be traded unless you're a franchise quarterback? That's what I want to know. You're Laremy Tunsil. You're a very good player. You're not a Hall of Famer. You're not even a Pro Bowler yet. I think eventually Laremy will make it to a Pro Bowl, but he hasn't made it to a Pro Bowl yet. So why would they assure anybody and not trade him? They offered you 2 first-rounders and a second. Who cares if Laremy Tunsil's mad? See, here's the part I don't understand about some of the points of view of people out there, okay? Are the Dolphins supposed to do what makes somebody else happy? I read another article where they said, oh, Louis Riddick says that they've broken it down too much. So if you kept Tunsil and Stills, what were you going to win in games? An extra game? So instead of 1 or 2 games, you're going to win 2 or 3? Instead of winning 2 or 3, you're going to win 3 or 4? You know what I love about all this crap that people talk about in this rebuild? Because it's not a tank, it's a rebuild. Everybody wants it their way. And you know what it is? Here's what I would say to the folks out there that aren't Dolphin fans. The folks that haven't suffered like we have for 20 years. You know what I would say to all of you out there? Why don't you go take a flying leap? Why don't you go jump off a bridge? Why don't you go play tag on I-95? Because if Louis Riddick wants us to keep Tunsil and Stills so we don't break it down all the way, so you want us stuck in abyss, right? Everybody else wants us to stick to the players they had. And what would you have gotten out of that? Let's say you make no moves and you keep pretty much the same roster. You still win 5, 6, 7 games. So what's the difference? So whether you lose a player or two and now it's 6 and now it's 5 and now it's 4. So that makes you guys happy out there? The talking heads, the writers, the people that really don't give a crap about the team? Meanwhile, for 20 years, I keep saying we're stuck in the same place. You're winning 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. You're not getting anywhere. So everybody wanted you to keep the players you had and keep doing the Band-Aid thing. Let's go buy a free agent here. Let's go buy a free agent there. Because that's worked for 20 years. Really. They've never done this, where they tore it down and they got boatloads of picks. You know that I heard somebody yesterday say that, well, listen, it doesn't matter if you have a whole bunch of draft picks. Half of them are going to be busts. So let me ask you something. If you have 7 draft picks and half of them are busts, that means you only hit on 3 or 4, right? Which is pretty good still. So if you have 13 and you hit on half, how's that work out for you, moron? Because last time I checked, that's 6 or 7 players you're adding. Sounds to me like it's way better than adding 3 or 4, right? If you're going to hit on half. So the person says you're going to hit on half. So you don't benefit by having more picks? What's going on here? I'm sorry, I'm missing this. Where's the logic from that person? That's what we're getting from people. And it's just plain stupidity. They have torn it down because this is the best thing to do for this football team, to reload it. Over the years, while we watch the Dolphins for the last 20 years do stupid things and stay in the abyss, we watch the Patriots trade up, trade down in drafts, gain all kinds of picks, let players go, gain compensatory picks. We see them play the game that the Dolphins are now trying to play. So now we're going to rip the Dolphins for turning things around and giving themselves a chance to actually legitimately build something that could be great, not average to mediocre.
Every Super Bowl team has done it through the draft.
Most of them, yeah.
And you said 7 guys. 11 and 11's 22, and that's 33% of your team.
Yeah.
That's, you're headed in the right direction.
Right. It's I mean, that's why, to me, this stuff is just a matter of them. It's just a matter of people wanting to give opinions and complain about wanting to complain. It's like the revolt thing. There's going to be a revolt in the locker room. What kind of revolt is there going to be in the locker room? There are no veterans left. Veteran-laden locker room, I can see people complaining and pointing fingers and guys that have incentives and are going to meet them and all that. But a locker room full of young guys? Come on, man. It's not going to be a revolt because they traded Laremy Tunsil. Even players have to sit there in the locker room and look at each other and say, dude, they gave him 2 first-rounders in a second. If you're objective, even his own teammates, okay? In fact, Laremy Tunsil should be taking it as an enormous level of, What a compliment. It's the ultimate compliment that a team traded 2 first-rounders and a second for his services. He shouldn't be mad. In fact, he and his agent should be high-fiving. They should be loading up on the CBD and feeling great. You know why? Because they've got that team by the balls now. They traded 2 first-rounders and a second. There's no chance they let him walk out that door. They will give him a fat-ass contract. Okay? And they know it. The agent and Laramie now know that they have that team by the you-know-what again. Because what are you going to do? Let him go after a year or two? Are you kidding me? So Laramie got traded. Look, everything got reversed. The bong mask ruined his draft night. He drops from top 5, top 3 possibly, all the way down to 13. But hey, 4 years later, he's traded for 2 first-rounders and a second to a team that's going to the playoffs, okay? And locked in to a max contract, whatever it is at that point, because that team already traded for you and said, we're giving you the money. I mean, life is good right now for Laramie Tunsil. Don't feel bad for Laramie Tunsil. And if there's players in the locker room that are mad, they should be mad that they didn't get traded for 2 first-rounders and a second, a fat-ass contract, and a playoff team. That's what they should be mad. If Laramie Tunsil's mad, he's short-sighted. Going to a team that's going to the playoffs, going to get a big-ass contract, got traded for a lot, but I love everybody else. Oh no, they're tearing it too much down. Why? Because you're not the one that has to live the last 20 years. So you're not the one that has to watch Dante Culpepper and AJ Feely and Cleo Lemon and Pat White and watch Ryan Tannehill for 7 freaking years. Do you know how frustrated it was for some of us? Not some of you out there that you were blind-ass fans and you were buying into Ryan Tannehill. You guys kept rolling over every year and think, oh, well, maybe this year he'll turn the corner. But for those of us that never believed in the kid from day freaking 1, do you know how frustrating it is as a Dolphin fan to know that every year you don't have a quarterback? And that they're giving a kid that doesn't belong there the job and no competition. That's why everybody else wants us to keep the players that they had. Because it makes them happy that the Dolphins are going to win 5 or 8 games a year. Does it make you happy or me happy? Hell no. No, I'd like to get back to winning 11, 12 games. I'd like to get back to having home field advantage. I'd like to get back to feeling like I used to feel when I was walking into the Orange Bowl. See, millennials, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And what is it now? Generation Z is the one that's now, right? Is it Generation Z right after millennials? Okay, so millennials and Generation Zs, you have no idea. You have no concept of what the feeling is like of being a cocky and confident Miami Dolphins fan. Exactly. Yeah, see, it's funny, right? But when we were walking into the Orange Bowl, okay, cocky and confident, we knew that 99% of the time we were going to kick that team's ass that was on the other side. Our Dolphins were going to show up. Our Dolphins were going to get it done. Greasy, Marino, Woodstock, a strike team. I don't care what the hell it was. You knew Shula, and that team would outcoach, and you felt great as a fan because your team was smarter. Your team usually had the edge. Your team had the home field advantage. All of those things. You have no idea what that's like. None. No concept.
There was a point in time when I was still producing at QAM. I had this intern who was going to University of Florida, so he was a Gator.
He's really loud.
And he was in studio the day that we were broadcasting, and I was producing a show. And this was the day after. Who was the wide receiver?
What year are we talking about here?
Wide receiver that had the press conference for emotional problems.
emotional problems.
Marshall? Was it Marshall? Was it
Oh,
Marshall?
Brandon Marshall.
Brandon
Brandon
Marshall.
Marshall. Yeah,
Brandon
yeah.
Marshall.
So he was having the press conference for that, and
Emotional. El tipo está loco. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and literally the kid just snapped. Why can't I have a normal football team? Why is it that every single year this is the reason why we're talking about the Miami Dolphins? Some crazy effed up stuff happens, and all of a sudden we're talking about that for the next week. Not about winning, not about losing, just some other jackass did something stupid, and that's why we're sitting here talking about that. Like, he had been so far separated from them winning.
Right.
That the only reason why people were talking about the Dolphins at any point in time was because some
Controversy.
crazy thing
Yeah.
happened that particular year, and that was the reason why. And that was then. So that was like what? That was like 2010,
Yeah.
2011 when that kid snapped. We're in what? 2019 now.
Yeah.
Same
Right.
deal.
Yeah. It's Tony Martin, money laundering case. It's whatever. You can just go on and on and on and talk about all the things. But that's what. So everybody else, that's what I love. They don't live our lives. They're not real Dolphin fans. So they don't live the last 20 years. They don't understand the incompetence of Cam Cameron. Okay? Or Tony Sperano, I know he's passed away, but whatever, it doesn't matter who it is. Dave Wanstead, whatever, head scratching stuff that goes on here with the Miami Dolphins.
But Dave's a nice guy.
What?
But Dave's a nice guy.
Dave's a great guy. He's a fantastic human being. He's one of the best people you ever meet. I told him once,
That's always the
when I was a beat guy, I literally told this to his face. I said, hey Dave, personally I like you, man, I root for you, but objectively, I can't defend anything that you do. So what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, and he was always so classy in handling all this stuff. I mean, he's one of those guys you wanted him to have success because you knew deep down inside Dave Wanstead is a really good human being, man. You know what I mean? But they don't live our lives. They don't live our frustrations. So it's really easy for Louis Riddick to say, well, they tore it down too much. Well, yeah, dude, you're not a Dolphins fan. You don't give a rat's ass. You don't care if they keep the current roster in place that is only going to win 7 games. So if you tore it down just a little bit, what, 6 or 5? Hey, they tore it all the way down. So if you win no games or 1 game, mission effing accomplished. I got no problem with it. Get rid of all these bad salaries. All right? Get rid of the players that aren't part of your future. Bring in young. Go really young so you find out now, out of all those young guys, who are the guys you want to build on for the next 3 to 4 years. And if it's only 7, 8, 10 guys, 12 guys that you're done with, when you're done at the end of the year, that's what rolls over, my man. And you turn over the rest. And you start to build a foundation. And how many ever picks you have next year, 12, 13, 15, whatever it is, you add it to the roster. But don't give me this crap that, they've gone too far. They were never a playoff team in any way, shape, or form. But that makes you asswipes out there really happy, right? It makes you happy that they keep certain people so our team, our beloved team, stays mediocre. I love this. Your team was never good enough to make the playoffs. No, but we want you to keep certain players around. Why? It's like, somebody was, I remember the article, well, they let T.J. McDonald go. What the hell is T.J. McDonald, man? Where's he making a difference? It's like the Nate Orchard stuff. A guy that has 5 sacks in 4 years. And people are complaining, well, he worked hard in the preseason. Give me a break. Are you bragging about the preseason? He's played 4 years already in the NFL and has 5 sacks. Do you want me to do the math for you? That's 1.25 sacks per year. That's what the Dolphins cut in Nate Orchard. 1.25 sacks. So that's what we're complaining about. It gets to a point where you're just complaining to complain at this point. But it's not like you tore down a playoff contender. It's not like this was a team that won the Super Bowl. You remember when the Bulls were at the end of their run and they won that 6th championship? And then they kind of decided to break it all up and not sign him. And you're like, well, what the hell is going on here? Wait a minute. Keep those guys together for one more year at least, right? Talk Jordan and everybody to come back, and why not? Is that what we're breaking up here? I'm sorry. Where's Bill? Where's Michael Jordan on the team?
He hasn't showed up yet.
Where's
We're
Scottie
waiting.
Pippen on the team?
He's playing college football.
Scottie Pippen on the team?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering, what are we breaking up here? I'm sorry. What did we tear down here? Well, Chris Greer, he is an absolute football construction criminal. He took down a team that was going to win the championship this year. I had no idea that the Dolphins were contenders. The way everybody's complaining, the way everybody's talking about tearing this whole thing down, it's like the writers are going to miss covering a 6-win team. Talking heads across the country, they're going to miss talking about a 6-win team. Boy, that's exciting stuff, man. How about you, Dolphin fans out there? Give it to me, 786-322-1105 on the text line. Do you miss a 6-win team? Because if you're complaining about keeping all these other guys, that's all you would have had. Why don't we bring back Ryan Tannehill? I had no idea that year 8 was the year that he was going to cross the threshold. I had no idea. I didn't know that the watershed moment for Ryan Tannehill took 2 knee injuries, 7 years of study, 7 years of play, or 6 years of play because of the knee injury, and then in the offseason, leading into year 8, that was the watershed moment that he will now become a Pro Bowler from here on out. I had no idea. Chris Greer, how dare you?
It's the Tennessee water, the mountain water. That's what's changed them.
How dare you? How dare you? You got rid of Ryan. He was no longer going to be Tannehill. Man, I tell ya, what we are missing, folks, all these people across the country, we should have kept this entire team together. I mean, we would have been inducting them into Canton a couple years from now. We would have been retiring. That's what it was. I'm onto it. Garfinkel and company told Chris Greer, listen, if you keep this group together, they might go on and win 4 straight titles. We don't have enough space to retire all these numbers. That's what it is. The Ring of Honor, is semi-full. They would have to make all these. No, that's what it is. They had too many good players.
There's not enough space around the stadium.
In fact, there was a rumor that if you kept the current Dolphin team from 2018 into the 2019 season, we here in Miami were going to build our own little Yankee. What's that center field thing that they have out there with the monument?
Oh, the shrine?
With
Yeah.
all the monuments. Is it Monument something?
Monument Park.
Monument Park. We were going to have to build our own Monument Park. Yeah, but they put the tennis center. They're bringing the practice facility. They don't have space for Monument Park. They don't have space for Monument Park. They don't have space to retire the numbers in the Ring of Honor. It's just, they said, no, we have to let these good players go. We don't want to pay them because, it's all about tanking. It's really, hey, we're here to tank. Come on, Nate Orchard, are you kidding me? We were already making the bronze bust. TJ McDonald, oh, come on. I was ready to fly to Canton just to hear that speech. Yeah, let's keep the Dolphins. Let's keep the Dolphins together of the last 20 years. The memories are just phenomenal. They're never ending, the memories from the last 20 years.
What's the sick?
In fact, these bags come from the last 20 years from the Dolphins.
What's a sick thought? You
And
go
thanks
back.
to Ryan now, I'm eliminating these bags with the CBD oil. It's awesome.
You're less purple.
Yeah,
You are.
They are less dark. They're not as dark. Is that the first stage? They lose the darkness, and then the puffiness starts. Okay. All right, that's pretty cool because they were basic. I mean, me and damn it, now I forgot his name. We're brothers, bro, from another mother. What's his name, bro? The actor with the big ass bags, the young, well, not young anymore. What's his name, dude?
Tell me a movie.
Living Daylights. He was really young. Damn, what's his name? But I do have.
Oh, Pierce Bronson?
No, but no, Pierce Brosnan doesn't have bags.
Dalton?
It's the kid, huh?
Roger Daltrey?
No.
Roger, oh, it's
No, no.
Dalton?
Moore?
No. It's like the guy. He has a Latin name, but he's in that movie. He's really young.
Oh, Benicio del
Del
Toro.
That's it. I have the
Who does the beer commercial.
Exactly, Heineken. I have the Benicio del Toro disease, and so he's eliminating the Benicio del Toro disease. So in fact, we should call Benicio del Toro and tell him about this CBD oil, bro. In fact, we should. I mean, 'cause let me tell you, if you can eliminate those bags, you can eliminate any bags. Okay, all right. One person on the text says, if they win 4 or less, I'm gonna miss a 5-win season because I bet 500 on the over 4.5 wins. To watch Marino as a 13-year-old dice the Bears' asses on effing Monday night. Yay! Exactly, I'm with you. I was there.
Oh, think about this. We got to a point where we were complaining about being eliminated in the second round in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, no.
We complained about this.
No. We topped that. We said 10 wins wasn't enough. That's how we were with Shula. Oh, he's only winning 10 games. It's like, really? We now will give our left arms for 10 games. One guy goes, love your show, Big O. Sweet Marino High School jersey. And for those of you watching, if you didn't check it out on Twitter, this is not a Minnesota Vikings jersey, okay? This is a Catholic High jersey. This is Dan Marino's jersey, okay? From his high school days. Let me stand up a second here. See? There you go. You see? We're die hard all the way to the end. So, die hard to the end, baby. So yes, I'm a sicko. Yes, I have a Marino high school jersey. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
That Viking on the sleeve is very
I know, it's
very
very-
Viking.
it's very Viking.
Very.
Yeah, it is. It is. But what am I gonna do, right? What am I gonna do? But it's a Marino jersey. That's the way I think about it. I don't think about the Vikings. I think about Marino. I think about my guy. So there you go. That's all. I've got his high school. I got his Pitt jersey, and I got the Dolphin jersey. So it's my favorite player in a Dolphin uniform of all time. So I always love my boy Marino.
Wasn't it just him and Steve that went in that year? It was just the two of them, wasn't it?
I was there. I don't remember now. It's like a haze. I do remember this. I was just a few rows right behind when Clayton caught the ball in the aisle, because that was fun. That was two of my honors were, one, I hosted from the stadium the Marino retirement and the number and all that stuff. I got to host that show, the whole thing, leading in and out to all that. So for me, that was one of the greatest honors of my radio broadcast career. Maybe the thing that I've enjoyed the most. And then obviously I was able to go to Canton to watch him get inducted into the Hall of Fame. I will go for Wade. When Wade gets in, I've never been to the Basketball Hall of Fame. I was a little pissed that I didn't get there for Zoe, but I won't miss Wade. I'll definitely be there for Wade, guaranteed. But I had to be there for Marino, man. I had to see Marino go into the Hall. That was a must for me, man.
You actually brought me back that white Marino Hall of Fame hat that I've never worn,
Right.
and that hat is
Yeah,
badass.
I have that hat
Wow.
sealed also in a plastic and all that, taken care of. The same buttheads that waved the last second win against the Pats last year while New England waves 6 rings backs. 8 idiots, exactly. Yeah, it's just, I'm telling you, that's all it is. It's just people that don't live our lives. They don't care about the Dolphins. That's what it is. So it's simple for them to say, no, hang on to these couple of players. You'll be fine. You'll be a little bit more competitive. What does that mean? That was, you know what that bothers me? That's like when we hear at the end of another bad Dolphin season, well, they played hard for Joe Philbin. Oh, they played hard for Dave Wanstead. They played hard for Tony Sperano. You remember that? You would hear that stuff too. Well, you know, they're struggling, but they're playing hard for this coach or that. Man, are you getting results? Is your coach good enough? Is he putting your team in positions to be successful? That's what I want to know. Are you doing that? Because if you're not doing that, then you're not doing me anything. Because that's what I would sit every year and I'd have a bunch of you out there, oh, he's so negative, he's killing the Dolphins. There's a reason why I was killing them for 20 years. Now, I actually think they're doing the right thing and they're giving themselves a chance to actually build something, which for me is really cool. Really is. We're coming to you live, by the way, from CBD Creek, and Ryan Shantz is out here, and it's American Shaman, Coconut Creek. Come on out here at 1311 Lions Road in the Lions Plaza. Now, if you want to come on by, we'll be out here till probably about 3:30. Actually, we'll be broadcasting till 3, but by the time we tear everything down, we'll be out here till 3:30. Ryan is giving you 15% off all CBD products, and these CBD products, by the way, are the strongest on the market. For some of you out there that have a misconception out there, you don't get high from this stuff. You get it? This is for healing. This is for you to feel better, like what I'm doing. I have a CBD oil that I'm taking for sleeping better, and now I'm sleeping deeper, actually. You know what's pretty cool about sleeping deeper that I've realized is, and as you get older, you know, the prostate, what can I tell you? Is there something for the prostate? Is there a CBD for the prostate?
It all works together.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to have that conversation later. You go to the bathroom a couple times a night, right? Now I go one less time a night because I'm sleeping a little deeper. So it's actually pretty cool. So I've got it for that, and my bags were black, and now they're lighter. If all you have to do is go back and watch the videos from last week, if you want, go watch a video from a week ago and look at my bags, and they're not as dark as they were. So I've been putting it on twice a day, like Ryan says, one in the morning, one at night, and then I'm watching my bags disappear, which is a beautiful thing. Hopefully in another couple weeks, I'll have no bags. Maybe the next time we're here at the end of September, the last Thursday of September, and we'll be out here again we'll be here September 27th, I believe, and October 31st are the next broadcast dates out here at CBD Creek. On Twitter, at CBD Creek. So make sure you follow Ryan, and you can order online. For those of you that are saying, oh, I can't go out there and see you, and even if you're living in Montana right now, go to cbdcoconutcreek.com. Okay, you go on the website, you can see all the CBD products. You can call Ryan also, okay, 954-366-6574. So if you have a question about one of the products you see out there, call him right now. He'll answer the phone. Right now you can call. Right this second. 954-366-6574. He's got his phone in his hand right now if you want to buy a CBD product. So support our sponsors who support us so we can make this podcast go every single day for you guys out there in Dolphins Nation. Plus, hey, listen, if anybody needs CBD products, it's Dolphin fans. Okay? I don't know if there's enough CBD in the world to save us from the Marlins, but at least for the Dolphins, we have some hope. Okay? You know, they're going to create cap space. They're going to create they got a bunch of picks, and they're going to spend. The Marlins will never spend, so I don't know. The stress levels might be too high for CBD to bring them down. I'm not sure.
You need the gallon bottle.
Yeah, the gallon bottles of CBD if you're a Marlins fan. I'm 47. I feel like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day over the last 20 years or so, man. I'm with you. That's exactly it. That's why I laugh at these idiots that tell us, no, hang on to this player or that player. You hang on to Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills. How many more games are you really winning? Think about that. Is it really worth it? No, I'd rather have the 2 first-round picks and the second-round pick and get rid of the $8 million salary. You know, I like this. I like having a boatload of picks. I like turning the team over to young. I like having a young quarterback on the roster with the capabilities of drafting another one if that one doesn't work out. I love the way they're designing this team. I got no problem with that. Tons of cap space, so when your players are up for contracts, your own players, like the Dallas Cowboys, oh no, we're going to give Zeke Elliott a contract, and we're going to give La'el Collins a contract, and we're going to give Jalen Smith a contract, and we're going to work on Dak Prescott, and we're going to work on Amari Cooper. Why? Because it's their own players. That's what I don't know about you, but that's what I want for my football team. I don't want my football team anymore going, Carlos Dansby will answer all our questions, and so will Ndamukong Suh, and so will Josh Sitton, and so will, and so forth, and so on, and the next one, and next one, and the next one, and Brandon Marshall dropping 7 touchdowns in a season, and all that other crap. You want that? You go ahead and get it. Because that's what Louis Riddick wants. Right? That's what the Greenberg guy wants on First Up, or whatever the hell that thing's called. All these other guys. All these other people that aren't Dolphins fans, that are just looking at it from afar, and they don't realize what we've gone through for 20 years. But they want us to keep doing the same things that they've been doing over and over and over again. Because only a moron doesn't trade Laramie Tunsil for 2 first-rounders in a second. And by the way, only a moron trades for Laramie Tunsil for 2 first-rounders in a second. So the Dolphins weren't either one. They weren't stupid enough to trade for a tackle by giving up 2 first-rounders in a second, and they weren't stupid enough to pass up on a deal like that. You're going to give me what? 2 first-rounders a second, and you're taking my $8 million salary? Where do I sign up? Let's go. Right now. Let's send it to the league office. No, let's just have the Dolphins continue to do stupid things. It's going to make everybody else happy. Screw us. We'll just load up on the CBD. And that's it. Gallons and gallons of CBD. I'm rubbing it. I'm drinking it. I'm showering in it. I'm doing it all. Why? Because I'm stuck with the same 5-win team. 786-322-1105 is the number if you want to send in your text. We will eventually have another way to reach out to us. We're working on all of those things. We're out here at Coconut Creek, so if you happen to be somewhere in the area close to 1311 Lions Road in Coconut Creek in the Lions Shopping Center, come on by, say hi. We'll be out here till about 3:30. Ryan, by the way, is donating 10% of all sales today to hurricane relief for our friends in the Bahamas who just went through absolute torture with Dorian. And we, by the way, got very, very fortunate now. We were saved. We were spared here in the state of Florida, and we are blessed for that. And we're blessed to be here with Ryan at CBD Creek on Twitter. So make sure you follow him on Twitter. And remember, if you can't come here, okay, and I get it, you can go to cbdcoconutcreek.com and you can order online. And while you're ordering online and helping you feel better from a pain or stress or any kind of issue that you have sleeping, depression, there's all kinds of things that you can use CBD for. And you can call Ryan too and ask him if you want a 954-366-6574 is the number. 954-366-6574 is the number if you want to ask Ryan any question about the CBD oil. And so while you're feeling good, you're also making a donation to help out for hurricane relief. So you're making yourself feel good and you're helping the people in the Bahamas. And I think that's actually a a really, really cool thing. I love the synergy of it all. So we've got that to talk about with the Miami Dolphins. We've got the other thing that I wanted to get into a little bit is I saw where Chris Greer, there was one of the articles today, they were talking about how Chris Greer wanted to keep TJ McDonald and that Flores didn't. And so, again, the assumption, and it's a terrible assumption, by the way, by the writer, is that Chris Greer isn't putting his foot down. So here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. When you get married, I'm just wondering, because I've been married for 25 years. Are you married with an ultimatum? Like you tell your wife what to do and what not to do, and that's the only way it goes? Just wondering, is that how you get in a relationship? Do you have a partner in business? And if you're 50-50 with that partner, do you just tell that partner what to do every single time and the partner just does it? Or do you work together? How are you going to hire a coach if you're a general manager and you're just going to dictate what players he's going to coach every single time? And here's the thing, and just to kind of shed a little light, and here's where sometimes I think maybe the writers don't hang around football people enough, okay? Chris Greer's known this guy for, I think it's 15 or 16 years. So there's gonna be a level of respect when you know somebody that long, right? I've known you for what, 30, almost 40 years, right?
Yeah, we're really close to 40, man.
Okay, so there's a level of respect that he's like my brother. And if I'm doing something with him, I'm gonna ask him, what does he think about this? And is it gonna make his life all right or easy? Is he good with it? Okay? I may make a lot of the calls here on our show, but he has a lot of suggestions and I go with them too. And because that's called a partnership. And that's what you do in a marriage. I doubt any of you out there, unless you're married to a woman that's just a total wench and just, she's kind of your maid. But most women, they kind of tell you what to do.
In any relationship, there has to be a give and a take. It
Has to.
can't be one-sided.
Right.
Forget it. It ain't gonna work.
So to assume, because the writer assumes that, well, wait a minute, Greer should have put his foot down. Why? And again, who the hell is TJ McDonald? I watched him. He's nothing out of this world. Making a mountain out of a molehill. TJ McDonald. Nate Orchard. Really? These are the points, this is how desperate you are to write an article?
Nate had 2 sacks in the preseason, man.
I forgot about that, man. Nate preseason Orchard, yeah. Terrence Fede had like 400 sacks in like the last 5 preseasons. Couldn't find one in the regular season, but he had tons in the preseason. And so, the idea is, if Flores doesn't like TJ McDonald for the scheme, he's the guy that coaches the players. So, Greer's gonna draft the guys he thinks that he likes and he fits, but there are times where he's gonna ask his coach, who, by the way, he's known for 16 years. This isn't some sloppy, he just met 6 months ago at the East-West Shrine game, had an interview with them, then followed up in the Senior Bowl and said, I like you, I'm gonna hire you. And then now they've gotten to know each other from this moment on. No, they've known each other for years. So if he brought him over with a certain level of respect. And he brought him over with a certain level of professionalism that he said, yeah, of course, look, I'll have final say. But if you have conviction on something, I'm going to lean your way. And maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. And there are things that I'm going to come up with here and they aren't going to work. And Bill had a better idea. And then we're going to go, you know what you thought of was better. Let's do that instead. Because he'll come up with things that'll say, no, that's actually a better idea. Let's do that instead. It really rarely happens, but once in a while,
I was just going to say.
It's rare, but once in a while when he does, it comes up. Hey, you're right. You know what I mean? That's what a relationship is all about. And to already assume over T.J. McDonald, okay? Think about this. A guy that struggles in coverage. He's a safety. Anyway, so it's just one of those deals where you're just writing to write and create controversy where there probably isn't any controversy whatsoever. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you write with an agenda almost, because it's hard. It's a 24/7 cycle in radio, television, and then newspaper. You got to come up with space. But then to assume that Grier is not using his power over T.J. McDonald. We're not talking about Minkah Fitzpatrick here, okay? I can get if there's an argument on that one. Now, wait a minute, Flores doesn't think it fits his system. Well, Grier just dropped him in the first round. He should have a little bit more. I get it. And Minkah is a very versatile player, so which fits what we're doing here, right? So think about this. If that argument was up, now you've got yourself an article. First rounder, hell of a player, great kid, is a multiple player, can play corner, can play slot, can play safety, has range, can read, can do it all. Flores says it doesn't fit his system. Now you've got yourself an article. T.J. McDonald, come on, man, you're creating something.
Should we have a concern? Because we haven't even gotten into the regular season, and there's been so many of these type of stories. Imagine where we're gonna be what are these people gonna do in the middle of the year? You know?
You gotta read through the BS, my brother. That's what I do. That's what I'm reading. I'm reading through the BS because I've been in this business for 30 years. I have hung out and still hang out with NFL people when I get a chance. They have taught me a lot about this business and how they think and how they go about their business. And so I just read through the trees. When you tell me there's going to be turmoil in the locker room from Tunsil, I break it right down. And if I tell you there are no veterans left in this locker room, how in the hell is there going to be turmoil? Really? How is there going to be turmoil with no veterans left in this locker room? What, the 3 guys that are left? What, are they going to be outside holding pickets? Hey, stop football. We don't come here. What are they going to do? The 3 veterans that are left. So when I hear, if they trade Tunsil, there'll be a revolt in the locker room. Give me a break. I've been at this too long to tell me that BS is not going to happen, man. All these guys are just worried about making their money. That's it. So don't give me this stuff. To read through the BS. And don't, again, T.J. McDonald. Big O, I think the biggest mistake for Gase was not knowing and or hiring an experienced defensive coordinator to take ownership and run the defense. I don't know about that, sir, because here's where I would disagree with you. Okay, he's the offensive old ass man Foster, who's broken down, worn down because it fits his system perfectly. But Gase is not Shula. Is not Bill Belichick, who adjusts what he's doing depending on the personnel he has. So instead of adjusting, he is hard-headed and goes and gets an over-the-hill veteran running back. So what happens to that veteran running back? He keeps playing the veteran running back and doesn't play Jay Ajayi, even though the veteran running back is ineffective. The veteran running back finally looks at Gase and says, dude, I can't do it anymore. I'm retiring. Jay Ajayi starts, goes for 1,100 yards. What does he do the following season? Then instead of going back to Jay Ajayi, what does he do then? Do you remember what he did? He gets rid of Ajayi, right? And then instead of using Kenyon Drake, he uses Damian Williams. For the first few games, Damian Williams was your starter. Until Damian Williams blew out a shoulder. But every time Kenyon Drake would touch the ball during Damian Williams' tenure, he would bust a long run. He would do something amazing, something that Damian Williams could not do in this offense. not Kansas City. Anyway, so he blows out his shoulder against New England. He's done for the year. Kenyon Drake carries the ball for the next 5 games, is the most productive back in the NFL, running and catching the ball the last 5 weeks of the NFL season. 3rd season rolls around for Adam Gase, the offensive genius. What does he do? Sign old ass Frank Gore to get you 3 yards a carry, and keeps Kenyon Drake on the bench. So before I finish reading your thing about Adam Gase had a lot of things that were wrong, and he wasn't the genius that some people think he is. Anyway, do you think Coach Flo made a mistake by not hiring an established offensive coordinator? O'Shea has been coaching for 17 years, but never a coordinator. I cringe when O'Shea keeps saying, running same offense concepts, plays as Pats, we play them twice a year. Eugene from Homestead. I'll give you this. I was trying to think about this the other day, and I didn't do my homework on it completely, so I'm gonna go off my memory. Am I right here? How many coaches did this guy bring in from the Patriots? Like 2 or 3, right? Did Patricia bring any over? Did Vrabel bring any over? Did Crennel take any with him? When those guys left, they all left by themselves, right? Somehow this guy Flores got several New England coaches to go with him. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but there's a part of me that says, well, Flores must be respected by those guys, because if they're leaving that great scenario to go to Flores, meanwhile, Vrabel and all these other guys, when they leave the Patriots, and Josh McDaniels leaves, it's by himself. And if Vrabel leaves, it's by himself. And if Romeo Crennel leaves, it's by himself. And if it's, who's the other guy I'm missing?
And all the guys that left by themselves have not panned out.
Right.
Him bringing a few, maybe this is the change of direction that, hey, Belichick has something off the tree.
Again, I'm not telling you it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you it's something that I noticed. And a couple of years from now, we'll look back and say it meant nothing. Or, hey man, there may be something to it. Because you didn't just take one guy off the tree, you took like 3 of them, right? Is it 3 or 4? Somebody look it up. I don't know how many it is, but it's like 3 or 4. So the fact that you brought that many, to me, is kind of impressive. But maybe it means nothing. So we'll see. So I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. The only thing I can answer, sir, is, and what you know and everybody else knows, and I'm not enlightening anybody on all of this, everybody that's left the tree has failed, okay? Maybe Vrabel might have the one hope right now out of that tree, okay? Because he had a decent season, he's got a decent team, maybe he can do something with them. I don't know, not sure yet, we'll find out. But that would be the only guy that right now has done something. Nobody else has done anything out of that tree. Everybody's gone. Everybody's dead, pretty much. So we'll see. You're not thinking of a coach that had success, right?
The only coach that's ever had success from Belichick is Saban, and that's in college.
Yeah, but that's right.
Yeah,
right.
That's the only guy.
Right, right.
Like ever.
Yeah.
Anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Saban is the greatest.
Yeah. Well, that's the only one.
Yeah, that's it. No, you're right. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 is the text number. Remember, tomorrow we're going to be at Hialeah Park from 1 to 4. The other thing is we've got a shirt giveaway. We've got these really nice Big O Radio Show t-shirts that we're going to give away next week. And the only way that you can actually win those shirts is by text. So you got to send us a text at 786-322-1105. Send your full name, your address, and the shirt size, okay? So if we pick you, we already have the shirt size, the address, your name, all that stuff, and we can mail it to you. It's only a text contest. 786-322-1105 if you want a chance at winning a Big O Radio Show shirt. And if you haven't seen them, go to our Twitter, our Instagram, and Facebook pages, and you can see them posted there. They're really, really cool, and we thank the folks at 300Bs. They did a phenomenal job on that one. All right, we are wrapping up the first half. We'll get ready for the second half. Coming to you live from CBD Creek here in Coconut Creek. We'll be out here for about another hour, 1311 Lions Road in the Lions Plaza. Remember, you can visit them online at cbdcoconutcreek.com. Come see my man, Ryan Shantz. Back for the second half, and let me tell you something. You got a real treat. We're going to take a couple minutes here where I get to reset, because obviously talking for a straight hour is not an easy thing. You get a little dry here. You got CBD for dry throats? Anyway, so we'll take a little break, but Bill has got together this segment here for the break. It's only a couple minutes, but some great sound bites from Jerry Jones and Zeke Elliott, and then comparing, the greatness of Zeke and then some of the stuff in the past. Jim Brown is on this, Walter, Barry Sanders, some really, really good stuff, really, really good rejoiner that Bill's got for us to get us ready for hour number 2 from CBD Creek in Coconut Creek.
Wait, it's called CBD Creek?
CBD American Shaman of Coconut Creek. He's just using my Twitter handle as the name of the store.
That's a pretty good plug, actually. It'll send everybody to your Twitter.
Well, that's the idea, because it's sweet, then they'll see the number, they'll see the address, I mean, I've still been given the address, and I'm still giving the number anyway. Many times. Plus, it's on the screen.
Yeah.
You saw it, right?
The number, look, I had to push them all together to get them on. The 4 was there. It just,
Fell off.
it wasn't letting it. I put the 4 is there. I go back to the other screen, the 4 is gone. I go,
So you just took the spaces.
man, the numbers are all smashed together, 10 in a row. But they're in there. These is in there.
You got a couple of segments there, you saw that, right?
Yes.
After the open, then I go into the dolphin thing, and then we did, I think there's 3 there, actually. There's 3 different ones there.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to
Huh?
increase the Twitter followers.
Yeah, no, that's what hopefully we'll start doing now, man. You know what, Ryan? I was thinking, if we do a video today of something, that,
Well, you can do I have the demo of the under eye serum.
okay, under eye or the sleep, which one should we do? Cause I think sleep is more important, right? We're gonna reach more people
Well,
than
then, yeah,
bags.
we wanna do the bottles here, under the tongue, and then these are the ones you can add with a liquid.
Okay, so when we're done now, and when we're done in a little bit, and he's tearing up, I'll have Carlos film us, and you and I will, hey, listen, I've been taking this for sleeping, and then we'll do like a quick 1-minute video,
Yeah.
and then we'll post it. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then I'll send you the video, put it on your website. Okay?
Yeah,
And on your Twitter page,
absolutely.
Here, I'll tell you what.
and Instagram, and Facebook, and all that good stuff. And you have Instagram?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I gave you my, follow me on
Okay.
CBD, yeah, both of my Instagram and Facebook pages and Google
Yeah,
is CBD
CBD.
American Shaman Coconut Creek.
Okay, all right, you got it.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to get some followers.
Yeah, we just got, it's a habitual thing. You know how it is? It's just a repetitive thing, but once we get them, doing all that over and over again, then, and they hear it over and over.
Wait,
Huh?
what's his face in Kansas City? Wasn't he with him in Cleveland?
What? What are you talking about, bro?
Belichick. Who's with him in Cleveland?
Right, but Saban was with him, I believe.
No, but somebody else was with him in Cleveland. Didn't
Oh,
Buck-
sure. I don't know exactly somebody, coaches that,
Good old Art Modell era? Yeah.
No, what's the person in KC? Andy Reid? Isn't Andy Reid one of those guys?
no. Reed is more of a Walsh disciple.
No,
He's not a Walsh disciple, but he's in the Walsh,
Tree.
like thinking, not tree, but philosophy,
Okay.
you know, philosophically.
No,
it's
he's
more-
part of a tree. He's actually, Andy Reid?
I don't
Andy
know.
Reid? Yeah, he's the San Francisco. Yeah, he's
I
part
think
of that. Shanahan, all them guys.
I think it was, yeah.
Gruden,
No, or.
Andy Reid,
No,
Holmgren.
Green Bay. I think it was Green Bay.
Yeah, I
It's
think you're
Green
right.
Bay. But
Yeah.
those
But
guys.
Holmgren.
But
yeah.
all those guys.
He's a home green guy. He's over
Right, but
Morning
all those,
Wig and,
right, but all those guys are from, like Holmgren, all those
They're
guys,
all-
they're all disciples of Parcells. Even if they weren't under that tree, they were influenced by that tree, you know, because they're all West Coast guys. That's all they've done is versions of the West Coast. In other words, in fact, they're all disciples of Sid Gilman. Why don't we just do it this, and just say that, okay?
Yeah, but
So
your
is
immediate
Bill
tree is,
Walsh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Walsh developed
Yeah,
everything from
Bambi,
Sid
Lance,
Sid
Lance
Gilman.
Allworth and all that, yeah, for sure.
Sid Gilman is the godfather of the passing game.
You got about a minute, cause we're coming to the
That's
end
fine.
of
I just
my
wanna
money.
stretch my legs out.
No, man, for sure. Oh, look at this. Are you kidding me? This is like at 6, it's, I don't have to edit shit. What a goodness. What? No.
Have you had any of those interactions with the players? I think these guys are focused on Baltimore. That's what I see. I think the attentiveness, the friends, what's going to happen here. I mean, Jerome Baker was kidding.
Oh, there's one thing I have to do. I have to take it down to 44.
Yo, did you see that thing? Can we get that? That stuff to add
It's the day
to
off.
this, to the
They're in here.
broadcast, to the stream, and to.
The audio one, is just a straight audio. It's
Yeah,
not a video.
no, we have video coverage, but I want an audio version so people, the only way they can listen to us
Hey.
is by watching.
Oh,
If we give them a straight
we're
up
down
audio.
to 20, 30 seconds here.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
that's actually pretty good. I mean, if it works, look, if it works for Joe Rogan. Yeah, it should work for you.
Yeah.
That's kind
He's got a little bit more traffic than. we
Yeah,
do.
that's what I'm saying. So if
For
you-
now,
You ready? You're on.
all right, we're ready. We are ready. We got the second half of the podcast. I told you it was really good stuff there, and I'm glad a lot of you stay tuned. Appreciate that as always. We thank you for the support here on the program as always.
I would like to thank Pink Floyd Money somehow plugging in like Dark Side of the Moon with Wizard of Oz.
That's right.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that's
Oh, he's
right.
live?
And speaking of money, we are out here at CBD American Shaman, Coconut Creek, Ryan Chance, the owner. Go to cbdcoconutcreek.com so you can make your purchase. If you can't come by today at 1311 Lyons Road, remember he is donating proceeds to hurricane relief. 10% of the sales today will go to a hurricane relief fund to help our friends in the Bahamas who suffered some serious damage. And again, this I'm telling you because I'm doing the CBD myself. It's helping me sleep, and better yet, I'm eliminating my bags. Which wow, I don't know if any of you have that issue. This stuff actually works. It's really interesting. Let's see, what do we got here? Big O. Oh, we got folks sending in for the shirts. I got you now. Okay, there we go. Somebody asked for your number, Ryan, so we gave them the number. Hopefully they will be calling you. Oh, great job to you. The building the show. A thought. What if Greer Flow are featuring Drake over the next few games as an audition for San Diego trade due to the Mel Gordon holdout? Say a number 3 for Drake, pass catcher for Rivers, and you know Finns aren't paying him starters money next year. Get value now. Peace, bro. Bill in Simi Valley. Bill, you are onto something because Kalen Ballage has been the guy. I know Drake has had some injuries, and then all of a sudden you're hearing about Kenyon Drake this week, and Kenyon Drake's going to get a lot of work. Bill, I think you're onto something because they picked up Mark Walton. And if they feel there isn't much of a difference there between the two, and they can buy themselves a couple of years with Mark Walton because they won't have to pay him, just like they don't have to pay Kalen Ballage, and then next year you're gonna have to deal with the Kenyon Drake contract when you really don't want to, and you really don't have to, and you can get a draft pick for him right now. My man, you, Bill in Simi Valley, are one of the listeners that knows how to play chess. There you go. Some of you out there like to play checkers, and then you end up in the abyss winning 5, 6, 7 games a year, and you're thinking Ndamukong Suh is going to make your defense dominant, and that Ryan Tannehill is going to turn the corner. You, Bill in Simi Valley, are a logical thinker. I like that. And that makes a lot of sense if they're doing that. And that would be also genius. Okay? If you do that and you're able to trade him for a third rounder, so be it. Go ahead. Because that will allow them now to trade Melvin Gordon for a second and third rounder or something along those lines, and they'll get their pick back. They're asking for a 1 and 5 now. Nobody's going to give them a 1 and a 5 for Melvin Gordon because he's injury prone and he wants a big contract. So nobody's going to give you the 2 picks, and especially a high one, for a running back, okay? And then you got to pay them. So you trade for Kenyon Drake, you give up a third rounder like Bill in Simi Valley says, and then now you can trade maybe Gordon for straight up just a second rounder, or maybe a third and a fifth. And then you get your pick back and you get a bonus pick or whatever, something along those lines. I can see something like that happening because they already shut out the negotiations with him. So that tells you all you need to know right there. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the show. The other way to reach out to us is, of course, on Twitter. And remember, you can watch the show on Twitter and you can watch the show on YouTube too. Also, we'll be here for about another hour out here at CBD Coconut Creek. Here's the website, by the way, cbdcoconutcreek.com. You can follow them on Google, Facebook, and Instagram. Go to CBD American Shaman Coconut Creek, and then Twitter, CBD Creek. I've told you many times. 1311 Lions Road in the Lions Plaza, the strongest CBD oil on the market. Some of you may be going to some of those other stores that are kind of bootleg and mom and pops. This is a national chain, okay? This is a reputable place, okay? This is all over the country. Their home base is in Kansas City. This is a very respected company where you are getting quality CBD, which is really important because if you're giving it to your dogs and cats or you're taking it for yourself, you want to make sure you're getting the quality, the stuff that actually is going to work, and that's what's going to separate them from the folks here at Shaman. So make sure you come on down here to 1311 Lions Road and come see my man Ryan Shantz. He will definitely take care of you like he's taking care of me. I'm sleeping better, which is a beautiful thing. I love sleeping deeper. You know when you're sleeping deeper, I'll give you an example, okay? This is how the CBD oil works. The alarm now rings, right? And then you kind of hear it, right? And then I reach over and I press the snooze, right? And I'm telling you, I fall down like a rock again. And then it's like, when it rings again, it's just like, it was like the first time I heard it. Because I forgot that I heard it the first time around. That's because you're so zonked out, okay? That's what that oil does. And what's the other stuff that you gave me? The Kava Kava. That's the other one. That's not CBD, right? Come over here, Ryan. Tell me what that is, because the Kava Kava is a little stronger than the CBD oil. Like the CBD one, I take it with an 8 ounce, I do it in a 12 ounce bottle, but I take one in the morning and then at night. It doesn't put you to sleep right away. What it does is it prepares you that whenever you do lay down, boom, you're gonna go out. But the Kava stuff, that gets to you.
Yes.
So why is that stronger than the CBD one?
Well, the Kava Kava itself is, a natural root from Hawaii, and the good thing with American Shaman is they have the proprietary nanotechnology. So they break down the the kava kava on a molecular level, so you're getting a stronger concentrate of it, and you're mixing that, 1 ounce, 1 milliliter of that with an 8-ounce liquid and taking it before you go to bed. So it's getting into your body quicker, it's lasting longer, and it actually is known to be a natural sleep aid.
Well, it does. No, I'm telling you, what's that stuff you take? Melatonin. It doesn't work for me. That does.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people coming in that were skeptical. They've taken it, and they've come back and actually have gotten
I didn't believe
more
it.
success.
I didn't believe it either, by the way, because melatonin doesn't work for me. So I didn't believe it. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
That's good stuff. So if you need to sleep, I'm telling you that, I don't know, there's a lot of us. You got stress, you got issues, you got problems, and you need to sleep. So that's why I would tell you that you need to get either the CBD oil or the kava kava. One of the two will definitely get the job done. I'm telling you, that's for sure.
You're really asleep if you're dreaming that it's the alarm clock, like it's in your
Yes.
dream, and you're like, oh
It's
yeah,
like-
yeah.
It's deep, dude. It's deep. It feels like, wow, like those days when I used to drink alcohol. Deep. Okay, I don't know, should I say that? Because I'm not much of an alcohol drinker, but when I was young, when I was, in my late teens, very early 20s, I had a few drinks back in those days, and I remember when you had just a few, and you would go to sleep, you would sleep a little heavier, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I felt with the kava kava and the CBD oil. That thing is good. Tastes good too. Did you guys, Dolphin fans, did you guys catch Cameron Wolf's article from ESPN? And he did a really good job with talking about players and talking about what about now, and how some were frustrated after the Tunsil Stills trade. And is the now important is what the article is about. It's a really good article, and it's an interesting perspective. But here's where, again, we're going to read through the tea leaves here, okay? Because we're going to stay focused on what the big picture is. See, when there's a lot of this stuff going on, a lot of this stuff that's being written, a lot of this stuff that's being talked about on radio, a lot of this stuff that's being talked about on television, there isn't a big picture perspective to it. It's a myopic perspective. It's a selfish perspective is what it is. It's a singular perspective, but it's never the wholehearted perspective that you should have. Okay, so, and the question was, where is Miami going, right? And here's the thing that I would say, because he talked to some of the players who were talking about the trades and getting rid of this player and how much better of a team are we, and if you're asking somebody to go out there and try and play hard, you're supposed to try and play hard no matter what goes on in life, okay? No matter what's going on, you're supposed to work hard. So if you have 10 people in the factory and 4 didn't show up that day, so what, do the other 6 look around and say, well, we're gonna have to work a little harder in order to achieve our goal? You just grind, man, and you do your best. And you hope you can make up for the 4 people that were lost. And if you don't, then you did your best. But this whole thing, where is Miami going? Full roster. It's what I told you before. And that's where the perspective of a player, if a writer is getting it from a veteran that's left in the locker room, and say, well, what am I competing for? Well, dude, you're competing for your job. You're competing to be the best you can be every single day to help this team, period. Doesn't matter the big picture. You were never going anywhere anyway. That's the big picture. The team wasn't going to win jack no matter what. So why would you care about any of that? Why would that matter at all? To a writer, to a fan? This is a team that needs a lot of players. They're not one player away from becoming a great team. That was their problem. They had people in the front office that kept thinking they were 1 or 2 players away, when they were several players away, including whatever they had last year, including if you eliminated only 5% of the roster, 10% of the roster, or 60% of the roster like it's been eliminated. So this whole thing about, well, players are worried about what's the next step, why am I here, what are we competing for? You're here to earn your job, you're here to earn a spot. The coaches are here to develop a core. That's really what it's all about. And their picture is big picture. It's not about what you think, talking head or veteran player. It's just not. It's about what's best for the Miami Dolphins overall. And keeping this team together or hanging on to only a couple of those pieces, that's not the best way to do it. And that's not the best way to run your football team. So to think that that would be the case, it's just, it makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. The Bills, by the way, ended up signing Vincent Taylor. So Miami released Vincent Taylor, wasn't a scheme fit. We talked about that. If you didn't hear that podcast, you can go back 2 days ago. Go back to all of our podcasts. If you haven't heard it, if this is your first time, go to SoundCloud. You can catch the stuff that went on over the weekend after the Tunsil trade. We were the ones that broke the Kiko Alonso trade. We broke it in the 7 a.m. hour of on Saturday that Kiko Alonso was getting traded. All of those kind of podcasts are up on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play. You can find it all there. Although now we got to get our stuff on Tidal, I'm told.
It's not a bad way to wake up on Saturday and find out we're getting rid of that linebacker that couldn't cover, anybody.
I'm with you. I got no problem with that. How about this one? I got something great for you. Here's one I want you to chew on, okay? Because we were all excited about this. Gerald Willis. What the hell is going on with Gerald Willis? The Dolphins released him after having him for a couple of days. How crazy is that? Now, we're talking about a guy that had problems in college and at Florida, that had to leave, obviously, and he was here at Miami, had his issues also here in Miami, and kind of screwed his head on right, and played well last year, played really, really well. And there is no doubt in my mind he has NFL ability. Yet, he had all kinds of screwy stuff happen to him in the offseason. He ends up dropping like a boulder in the draft. He now gets cut by the team that signed him after the draft. Okay? Miami then picks him up and releases him 3 days later. There's no doubt that Gerald Willis has talent to play football, and even at the highest level. But there's also no doubt that we don't know something about Gerald Willis that's really disturbing. Because for you to have all these issues in college, all the issues in the offseason leading into the draft, then not being able to impress the team that you drafted after you plummeted in the draft, which should have motivated you to every single extreme out there. Okay? And now you get released by the pro team that took a chance on you. And now not your hometown, but the team where you played college ball at signs you. And then you get released in 3 days. What lack of an impact did you make in 3 days that they said, wow, this guy cannot be in our building, we've got to kick him out? What the hell is going on with Gerald Willis? That is baffling. Now, here's the best part about all of this. This is the most fantastic thing about Gerald Willis. Okay? I want you to really think about this. He couldn't make it at Florida. He couldn't impress the NFL in the offseason. He couldn't impress the NFL team that signed him. He couldn't impress the other team that signed him for 3 days. How did Manny Diaz get all of that from him in 1 year? That's what I want to know. What magic wand does Manny Diaz have? I'm more impressed now with Manny Diaz than I've ever been. because nobody can reach this guy, Gerald Willis. Yet somehow or another, Manny and staff did. That, ladies and gentlemen, is impressive. Now we can answer that question how Jeff Thomas left, would have never come back from Mark Richt, but that guy brought him back. And by the way, Jeff, you better step up against North Carolina this week. Okay? No drops, no muff punts. Okay? You came back, you need a ball, dude. They need you to ball. Anyway, forget about that footnote, but I'm just saying, I'm impressed with Manny Diaz. Because I don't know what the hell is wrong with Gerald Willis. I hope he gets help. I hope he reaches out to somebody. I don't know what it is, but the Lord blessed him with the abilities to make a lot of money in football. I truly believe that he's not just a guy in football. I'm talking about in the NFL level. I think he can be a baller in the NFL level. He's a guy that can be a disruptor. But there is something that he's not doing he's not focused. He doesn't have his head screwed on right. I can't answer it. I don't know what it is with Gerald Willis. But the young man has an issue. And I hope he figures it out. Because we're all given some kind of ability. And we got to then figure out what that ability is. Figure out what we love to do. And maybe we get to go do what we love to do. And things like that. Maybe he doesn't love football as much as we think. Because if you love something, you will do whatever you can to do that. Okay? I probably could go get a radio job somewhere. I probably could. I'm pretty sure I could. But I chose not to. I was actually going to do this before I did the last project I did. And I said, this is what I want to do. Because this is the direction that our world is going in. And I figured, okay, let's try it. And so far it's been amazing, and thank you. And Bill and I both, and Carlos, thank you immensely for the support that you guys are giving us. But it's, maybe Gerald doesn't love football the way he needs to love football because he doesn't respect the game. And it's a shame because he has every single tool possible to succeed. Make it simple for them. Oh, this was an intervention. I don't know what it was, man. All I know is that young man is got some issues. He's lost.
Obviously, you being in the game as long as you have been, they said injury, 3 days and an injury and released. What's the deal with that?
Nah. If you got some injury, though, you can.
They would hold on. They would hold on to him, right?
Yeah, he's on the practice squad.
Exactly.
He's not in the active roster. And they let him go because they saw something right away and they said, "Okay, this is what we heard. They're right. You're out of here." But if he had, they just were bragging about his talent 3 days ago. Okay, him and Trent Harris. They were just talking about how they hadn't even reached their ceiling. Don't tell me he hit the ceiling in 3 days. All right, we saw his ceiling. It was down here. We're all right. No more. We're good. My poodle has a higher ceiling than Gerald Willis, so we're good. We're done. We're moving on. I just don't think that's the case. I really don't. Folks, we're going to be out here for about another 30 minutes at cbdcoconutcreek.com. Come on and see Ryan Shantz. Ryan, pull up a chair, man. Let's talk a little bit here since we're out here for a little bit more, and I want people to know about these products because you've got the oils, you've got the tropical creams, you've got the beauty products, the pet line, vaping, all that stuff. They can call you 954-366-6574. That's 954-366-6574. And remember, you will get 15% off here today. If you come on by, you mention me, and you will get 15% off if you're nearby. Come on by.
And don't forget, 10% of all sales today will go towards the Hurricane Relief Fund to all those people devastated by the hurricane.
Yeah, no, it's man, it breaks your heart to see.
Yeah. does.
what they went through, and then you think about it, they're simply 10, 15 feet above sea level, and those waves, and they hit you with a Cat 5, and they were 20-foot waves.
And it stalled for hours upon hours, so they got
A whole day.
They got pounded day and a half.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, day and a half.
And that probably felt like an eternity. to
Yeah,
them.
let me tell you something, the numbers, are they still in the single digits? Cause it was like 5, 6, 7, I was shocked.
20.
Oh, it's 20 now? Wow, and I'm still shocked it's only 20.
Yeah.
Cause the island looked like it was in the ocean. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, the people taking video, and they're in the second floor, and the water is almost at their level.
And coming up their staircases inside the house.
Yes, yes, and you know that there's living things that are swimming in that.
Oh, yeah.
And so now they're there with you know what I mean? It's scary stuff, man. Yeah, scary stuff. All right, so CBD is this thing that has taken off.
It has.
And obviously, a lot of us are finding out about all the benefits of CBD, and I'm already feeling those benefits when it comes to sleep and trying to eliminate my bags. But you know, let's talk a little bit about what makes your company completely different than a lot of the mom and pops that we're seeing, because it's so saturated now. It's all over the place.
It is.
And so, but it's all over the place, but doesn't mean it's quality. And so talk a little bit about that, and what Shaman, and why Shaman is different than everybody else.
Okay. Well, American Shaman, like I said, is out of Kansas City, Missouri. They've been around a little over 3 years now. The CEO actually sits on the National Hemp Roundtable. So when the Farm Bill came to legalize hemp in all 50 states, CBD actually, came into fruition. It's the alternative to, medical marijuana. People want the medicinal, benefits of that without getting the high.
Right.
So American Shaman has over 200 locations nationwide, and they're known for their proprietary, nanotechnology. Just to break it down, is that they break it down on such a molecular level that any, CBD you consume, your cells are going to absorb it. So you're getting 9 times more bioavailability than any other CBD out on the market. So it's getting into your body faster, it's lasting longer, and a lot of people have a lot of testimonials of how it's helped them throughout their life, whether it's, reviving them and refreshing, for you, sleep.
Right. We had a gentleman that came in for back pain.
Gentleman did come in for back pain who's been using it, and it's helping him with natural inflammation. It is a natural anti-inflammatory. So American Shaman is becoming onto the map, and it's a great company, and they have the highest grade CBD out on the market.
So, and explain to folks that all of it is organic and natural, just in case if people, are.
Absolutely, it is 100% organic, non-GMO hemp. It comes from our farms out in Montana, and then it's processed and manufactured at our laboratories in Kansas City, Missouri, and all of our stuff is third-party tested. So whatever CBD we're saying is in there, you can rest be assured that if you go to our website, cbdcoconutcreek.com, and look it up, that our lab tests are there for your benefit.
Is that an indoor facility?
Most of it, yes.
Yeah, I would imagine. Montana, I'm thinking about it like, okay, you can only then grow it for a couple months and then.
Well, there's the fields there, and then the fields in Kentucky where we get
Ah.
our hemp.
Okay, is that bourbon filled hemp?
It's cherry wine.
Oh.
It's cherry wine hemp, actually.
Really?
So, yes, it is.
That's interesting. Wow. Okay. And explain. Here's the other thing that may be, in layman's terms, what CBD is.
CBD is cannabinoid. Your body actually produces cannabinoid in its system, in the ecocannabinoid system of your body, and it's derived from the hemp plant. The main misconception is that it comes from the cannabis, so you're getting the THC. CBD does have limited 0.3% THC, which is added, with the hemp plant. So we sell full spectrum CBD, which means you're getting multiple strains of the CBD plus the 0.3 THC. If you want it, you can get it without it, but it is a little bit beneficial to have that little addition of THC mixed with the CBD oil.
And also, not only do you have for us, but you also have for pets too, right?
Absolutely, we do have it for cats, we have it for dogs, we have the oil tinctures, and we also have the puppy treats for them, and for the ladies as well, we have our beauty line. So we have hydrating body lotion, the under eye serum, which you're using,
Yes.
which is really great, face replenishing cream, and bath bombs. So we have a lot of great things with CBD infused products that are beneficial to everybody.
That is cool stuff, man. And again, let's walk people through all of this. If they want to go to the website, come on in. Come on in. If they want to go to the website, what is it?
It is cbdcoconutcreek.com.
1311 Lions Road in the Lions Plaza. Ryan, thank you as always, my
Thank you,
brother.
Big O.
You got it, my man. So, if you guys, and you can order online for those of you that you want to order online, you can do that, okay? CBDcoconutcreek.com. I know a lot of you are listening all throughout the country or watching all throughout the country, and we appreciate it. We'll be out here once a month, okay? And so if you live in the Coconut Creek area, we will be out here September 27th. Will be our next broadcast out here, and October 31st. We'll be out here for Halloween. Should we come in costume that day, Bill?
What?
On the 31st, when we're here, should we come in costume? What do you think? Do we do the show in costume?
You really want to go there?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. What costume should I wear on Halloween to do the podcast? No, I mean, that might be a funny thing that I actually do a podcast in a costume.
By the way, you did say earlier September 27th. That's Friday. We will be here September 26th.
Oh, 6th. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 26th. It's a Thursday. My bad. I made the mistake. My bad. And remember, if you want to win one of the t-shirts, it's really simple, folks. All you got to do is send in a text to 786-322-1105. We're giving away some sweet teas, man. Teas made by 300 Bees. They are absolutely awesome. So you got to check those. You got to check those out. Anyway, so check those. You can check it out on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. We have posted the pictures of what's it called, the shirts, and then you can send in your text. Make sure you send in, when you send in the text to 786-322-1105, put in your full name, put in the address, full address, okay, zip code, all that good stuff, and then put the size of shirt, okay? If you don't put that information and we pick you and then there's no information, you gotta then pick somebody else, and you don't wanna do that. If you made the effort, you wanna try to win it, okay? One guy says, I followed you since my 20s. You go for yours, dude. Thank you, appreciate that, very kind. And then, I don't know how old you are, saying you followed me since the 20s, so that means you're telling me that I'm old, because I've been doing it for nearly 30 years. So you're reminding me of how old I am, and I appreciate that. I thank you all for reminding me how old I am.
And let me just add, you got another birthday coming up very shortly there, buddy.
That's right, October 1st is my birthday. So yes, we will be 53 years old in October.
Just sailing along there, buddy.
Yep, you're right about that. You're right about that. But things are getting better.
Your bags are going away. You're
Yes.
not Mr. Purple anymore.
I'm sleeping better. I don't have another terror in my life. That thing's out also. So yeah, less pressure in the world. It's a beautiful thing. Less frustration, less incompetence that I have to deal with in my life. Life is good actually right now. Life is good. Hell, tomorrow's gonna be great. Tomorrow's gonna be a little Peter Frampton and Jason Bottom. Looking forward to that?
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for that, man. That's gonna be fun, huh?
Together.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
No, together.
Yeah, Bottom opens up for Frampton.
Okay. so
This
not
is
together.
Frampton's final tour.
I'm saying, is he playing with Frampton?
No.
Oh, yes, together.
Oh, no. Together as in together on the bill.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Yeah, no. That's what it is. Yeah, they are. So
They each get their own turn on the stage.
This is a good weekend because we get that, and then on Saturday we're going over to Club Space, is what they call it. I don't know if do they call it
I
club
think
space
it's
for that?
still, I think it's still club space. Yes.
We're gonna go see Modern English, Gene Loves Jezebel, and The Alarm. That's gonna be awesome. It's The Alarm, Modern English, Gene Loves Jezebel. Okay, just in case. So Gene Loves Jezebel will open. So there you go. How about that? No? Are you going to go to both?
I think that's what the plan is. Yes.
Okay, all right. You're not going to any, right? You're working on both? Damn. We gotta get you out to concerts. We may, soon.
Would love to go see Modern English.
Soon.
That's really surprising because this guy knows about as much music, if not more, than you.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
that's saying a lot.
He knows a lot.
A lot.
A lot. A ton. Ton and a half. So, hopefully, he'll be a part of this project that we've got coming up, which I'm looking forward to that. Remember, you can reach out to us always on Twitter, @BigOShow. Let's see, what else do we have here? Any chance a live podcast, Big O Show? What else? We can hear you on your break. The camera mic is not your microphone. Oh, so they heard us during the break. That's what they were saying. He says, we can hear on your break, the camera mic is on, not your microphone. No, well, that's what, well, Carlos should know. He should know because he actually told us about that mixer. So that he might be listening. So that doesn't turn off when you go on the break. Oh, okay. There you go. Okay. I see. It doesn't, it's not a big deal, but yeah, that's cool. Thank you, I appreciate that, Carlos. Thank you for looking out. I didn't know that, but that's cool.
The thing that is safe is there's nothing we can't say. We're
Right,
not
no.
restricted. We can
Yeah.
say whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, exactly. One guy says, but look at the draft on the last decade. Again, I don't want to hear any of that stupid stuff with Chris Greer. Chris Greer did not pick any of the talent in the past. Okay? So if he picked it, then you can blame him for it. He's been picking the draft the last 4 years. 16, 17, 18, and 19. That's it. He didn't make the free agent or trades in 16, 17, and 18. He's been in charge of everything now this offseason for the first time. So I will judge Chris Greer on everything from here on out. You can judge him in the draft for the last 4 drafts. And there are some positives, there's a lot of positives, and there's a few negatives, but there's more positives overall. So I'm not going into that stuff. To me, that's, again, you're complaining to complain. Because if you're gonna blame Chris Greer, in the past, did they trade for a quarterback like they did with Rosen? Because Greer did that. In the past, did they turn around and create all kinds of picks, like 13 picks for next year, like Chris Greer's doing? No, they didn't. In the past, did they sign players a year early, like he did with Bobby McCain last year, like he did with X? No, they didn't. Like Jakeem Grant? No, they didn't. So it's really convenient for you morons to pick and say, well, Chris Greer was in the past. But if you look at all the things that they're doing right now under Chris Greer, how come they weren't doing it in the past? Do you know why? Because Chris Greer wasn't in charge. So if you're not smart enough to figure that out, okay? Because look how he's done things in the last couple of months, the way he runs the draft, the way he's run free agency, the way he's done things. He's not going out and buying free agents. He didn't get the roster of last year and say, oh, we're only a couple of pieces away, like every other moron that took over. So, again, sometimes some of you out there, you need to take a step back and actually think about what you're saying and look at the big picture perspective. Look at all the bad habits of the past. If you think Chris Greer was part of all of that, then why aren't they continuing? Why is everything done completely different? Oh, because somebody completely different is in charge. Chris Greer's not the guy that's going to stand. Look, I'll tell you this, I do know this about him. He's not going to stand up on the table and challenge the current GMs and the head coaches that were in place and tell them, no, you're wrong. You need to draft this guy. It's not who he is. He put in a scouting report, and that's it. And if they took it, they took it. And if they didn't, and Jeff Ireland wanted to pick somebody else, or Nick Saban wanted to pick somebody else, or Cam Cameron wanted to pick somebody else, or Randy Mueller, or anybody else, or Adam Gase, or Mike Tannenbaum, they did whatever the hell they wanted to do. It wasn't Chris Greer. This is the dumbest thing out there, okay? To be saying that Chris Greer was to blame for everything else. Again, watch what he's done. What he's doing does not resemble anything that's been done in the past. So, isn't that the logical approach right now? Isn't that the logical thing that you say, okay, wait a minute. You can tell Chris Greer was never in charge because they never used to sign players before their contracts were up. They would wait till, Olivier Vernon's contract is up to then negotiate with them. So then you're negotiating with everybody else because he's in free agency. That's what they used to do. Jarvis Landry, they let it go all the way to the end. It's every contract. That's how it used to be. Are they doing that now? No, they're not. Do they trade for quarterbacks in the past? That like the way they did for Rosen in the draft, where they get a second rounder and make it into 2 second rounders and turn it into a quarterback? No. So it's really convenient and lazy to say, oh, wait a minute, Chris Greer, he was part of the past. Yeah, he was there. Doesn't mean he was making the decisions. So let me ask you something. If you're a good employee, don't you have a manager above you and an owner? Have you ever watched them make dumb decisions? And then your company looks terrible? But you know you didn't make the decision. It's the same thing. Why are you going to blame Cam Cameron for saying, I know the Ted Ginn family? It wasn't Chris Greer that said, I know the Ted Ginn family. It wouldn't say, hey, let's turn that thumb right side up. Well, that was Cam Cameron, man. So don't blame Chris Greer. He was there. And I'm sure he didn't say, yeah, no, I want that guy too. Yeah, take Ted Ginn. I'm sure he didn't. But you guys, if you want to make anything up, go ahead and make it up. This is the environment we're in anyways, right? With fake news and all that stuff. I guess that's the way. I mean, it is what it is. You can get away with all that kind of stuff nowadays. Nobody cares. But if you want to make up whatever narrative, whatever agenda you want, go ahead. Blame Chris Greer. Even though everything that Chris Greer is doing now resembles nothing that the Dolphins have done for 20 years. There's a reason. Oh, here's another thing. Before they hired Chris Greer last year, and they had Adam Gase and Mike Tannenbaum, for those of you that are new to all of this, I wrote an article for The Athletic last year. I said it on my radio show locally last year several times. I said it on my national show on Sirius several times. I said, fire Mike Tannenbaum, fire Adam Gase, and put Chris Greer in place. And the reason why I kept saying it was because he's an old school football guy. That he'll rebuild the team in an old school football way by tearing it all the way down with draft picks. And guess what? They did it. They tore it all the way down. And he's rebuilding it the right way. But you go ahead and keep thinking that it was all Chris Greer that did all of those other picks of the past. Go ahead. Nicki Minaj, I'm retiring from music. I want to become a mom. Nicki Minaj says she's leaving her music biz. She's decided to retire because her family is the next priority. The rapper made the stunning announcement in a Thursday morning tweet saying she's going to retire because she's ready to become a mom. She wrote, "I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now. To my fans, keep repping me. Do it to the death of me. X in the box, cause ain't nobody checking me. Love you for life." There you go. Nicki seems to be saying two things. That she wants to become a mom, and two, that she's sick of the trolls. What's not clear is if she's blowing off steam or is this the real deal. She'll be back. She'll be back. She'll get tired of being a mom. And she'll have so much money, she can buy nannies. She'll be fine. She'll be back rapping in a year or two. And let me tell you something, if she's gonna become a mom, that ass won't fit in 2 buildings. Okay? All right? I'm just saying, man. Ryan, you don't even have enough CBD to, shrink it. All right? I know he's trying to shrink this, but, these aren't as big as Nicki Minaj's bootay. She will be back to rapping within a year or 2. Okay? So, you know what? This mom stuff has inspired me to add this kind of legacy to my rap career. I will talk more about life and being a mom and being a parent. I want to show people this side of me now, because everybody knew me as a rapper when I was single and I was young and all. Now I'm older and more mature and have a different perspective. I'm going to rap about this now. You'll see. She'll just change the game. That's all. Because eventually she'll know that the money is there and she'll be back. Being a mom is way harder than being a rapper. Okay? And being a mom is maybe, while it might be gratifying in some ways, sometimes it's pretty thankless. Okay? Because moms go through hell.
So she's gonna rap basically what you're saying about changing diapers?
Yes.
Is that what we're
Yes.
talking about?
Yeah, she's gonna rap about a lot of crap. Yes. Yes. A lot of crap is what she's gonna rap about. Because she's about to step into it. Okay? Because here's the other thing. Right now, moms are saying, "Nicki, don't do it. Don't do it. Stay being a rapper. You don't want to do this. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You're better off being a rapper than a mom. Guaranteed." One guy says, "I remember that you said that." Well, thank you, sir. Hashtag witness. Appreciate it. It's all there. It's in. Ain't going no. It's on tweets. It's on Facebook posts. It's in an article in the Athletic. It's on audio. It ain't going anywhere. I'm the only guy in the entire country. The entire country. Nobody locally. Nobody nationally. Not one person said put Chris Greer in place. Not one. Why? Let's bring it full circle to what I was just talking about before the big ass interrupted us. Okay. All right. Let's go back to it. I'm serious. It's just, in the end.
Oh,
I forgot my train of thought now.
Can't make this.
in the end, something Chris Greer.
Oh, in the end,
Nothing really.
look, Chris will prove all of us right or wrong. We'll find out. But it's like I told you, it would be lazy to say, "Oh, Chris Greer is to blame for everything in the past." And he's not. Because I just gave you many examples in the last couple of months that he does things that are very un-Dolphin-like, that he was a part of for many years. And we've all been a part of jobs, organizations, corporations that above you saw people making incredibly stupid decisions. And you're like, all right, that's not a good decision, but hey, you want to call it 560 the Joe, go ahead. Anyway, 786-322-1105. I mean, just, there people do stupid things, and You're not in control of them. You know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna blame everybody else? No, blame the person in charge. Those people have been fired. Now let's see what Chris Beard does from here on out. All right, let's wrap it up here on the show. I want to thank Ryan Chance for hosting us. We will be back September 26th, which is a Thursday. We'll be back October 31st, which is a Thursday, which is Halloween. I think I'll be in costume that day. I don't know what I'm going to wear, but we'll try to wear something. What we'll do on September 26th, I won't wear anything. See, that way the TV part will be really interesting and ugly as hell.
No. We're gonna get plenty of that Monday, this coming Monday at Showgirls, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You keep your clothes on. Let the girls take their clothes off, please.
We are
Thank
going
you.
to Showgirls. Yes, we are, Monday. Monday is gonna be a very interesting day on the camera. Yes. We're supposed to do it this past Monday, but because of the storm, we delayed it. So this Monday we'll be at Showgirls.
I'm pretty sure that, yeah, they're exhibitionists and they're gonna wanna be seen. So, yeah, we're probably gonna like have to, hey, wait a
Maybe. You got those blurs and, can we add blurs? No blurs?
No blurs, man.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a free-for-all.
Tell you. Again, you're listening all over the country. Go to cbdcoconutcreek.com. Check out all the CBD oils there. If you have a question before you order, you can call Ryan at 954-366-6574. Save it on that cell phone, 954-366-6574. If you live in the area, come on by 1311 Lions Road in the Lions Plaza, right behind the public shopping center. So come on by. There you go. They're calling already for Ryan. We always appreciate it. American Shaman is the products. They are the strongest CBD oil on the market. So don't go to any of these bootleg places. You guys know I would never mislead you, okay? So on behalf of Ryan, Carlos Piqueri, of course, Bill is always getting it done, and yours truly, we thank everybody that watched, everybody that sent in a text. Remember, if you want to win a shirt, send in your texts. Only way to get into that. Next week, we'll give out those shirts. Put in your full name, your address, and your shirt size, too. So if we pick you, we know what shirt to send you. 786-322-1105. Tomorrow, Hialeah Park. We'll see you there 1 to 4 p.m. And we'll have our picks for college and the NFL. For the Bears, lay the points tonight. Go Bears.